Begin now, baja wonja ke bolonia well. Ania well, jobania well. Natanya rawa. Material. Ase rawa jion. So, ale moro mawe. E panse sai mawe. Sanse no mawe. Moluwa joba moluwa. So I tell well.
Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. Good evening, folks. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I'm here again tonight. We're going to be rocking it all the way up. And we say thank you for joining us this evening. It's a wonderful Friday afternoon. Folks, please stay safe. It's important that you stay safe. We're going to be rocking it here tonight, folks. There's no joke. There's the things that are happening in our country, and the folks that are from Liberia, I'm not too sure exactly how to classify or characterize this tonight, but it's going to be a doozy one, to be honest with you. So we want to welcome all of you again, like Brown Public Radio, Samson to Friday afternoon. It's Friday evening. I didn't get paid yet. Friday evening, I don't get paid yet. So that's my own music. But anyway, Friday evening, am I broke? Yeah, I'm broke now. Samson too. I like to have fun. Thank you very much. First, I just want to first of all welcome my sister, Sarah McKinney, who just arrived from Monrovia 2 days or so ago to take care of the funeral services of his brother, who's also my own brother as well. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to make the funeral, but we've had some issues that have been resolved, hopefully, and we want to thank God that my sister arrived safely, and hopefully she will be taking care of everything else. Why some of us might not be there, but anyway, I will talk to her before she leave. Hopefully, I can invite her here and let her talk to me about what is happening back home, what does she knows about things that are happening back home, and we can have that discussion. But anyhow, I want to welcome all of you again. This evening is going to be a doozy one. Folks, there's things that are happening in Liberia. I'm not too sure, but I will continue to promote the pro-poor agenda. Because even if Dr. Weir is not capable of promoting or carrying on the function of this government or whatever it is, the pro-poor agenda was written by Liberians, and they have him to implement. If they accept, the CDC accepted, they're supposed to be implementing some of the pillars of the agenda, and I think they're doing their best. So I'm not too sure, but I'm a little bit getting worried, folks, and I just thought that I announced that tonight with a very somber voice out of my own mouth here this evening. Folks, I want to welcome all of you again. What we're about to do here is not to challenge people's characters, it's not to challenge people's ability to produce or what have you, but we just want to put things out there that we've been reading, we've been perusing the internet and stuff like that. And whatever, I just want to give you this, whatever Samson Toll has put out there in the internet sphere is going to stay there forever. And so when you're going to be writing about Samson Toll, or if you're going to be writing about Brown Toll, please be factual. Please bring out issues that will at least people would take into consideration. Because whatever you write about Samson Toll, whatever you write about Brown Toll that is not factual, and you just perhaps you're doing it to degrade my character, you might be successful for a while. But I'm a Liberian, don't forget that. And you never know when I'm going to end up in Liberia. What if I become president of Liberia tomorrow and you have written these ugly, untruthful things about me? How do I now deal with it? And this tonight, and what I'm about to do is not like I'm accusing people of writing false information. No, far from it. But I want us to actually to make sure that if we're going to do these things, if we're going to write about one another, if a media institution is going to be writing story, please do some due diligence and come out. Because what you write here today, whether we believe it or not, whether we accept it or not, is going to stay for generations to come. So let us be careful with that. Having said that, let's go on. Samson Toll, my show. Usually I start with Dr. Weir. Dr. Weir, President of the Republic of Liberia, folks. In case you don't know who is leading the Republic of Liberia, folks, if you don't know who the Liberian president is, that's Dr. Weah, president of the Republic of Liberia, just recently elected a little bit over a year or so ago. But we're rocking it. We're going little by little, little by little. That's our president, folks. If you don't know, very serious, Dr. Weah, who is in charge of the Liberian country, Liberian people country right now. And we're hoping that things will turn around, because it just not. I mean, we heard what $30-some billion going to be printing out here very shortly if they pass. And the House of Representatives, they're going to pass it. The Senate going to pass it. They're not going to say no to Dr. Weah. They will never say no until Dr. Weah leaves office, and because they can't. The only few that can stand up to challenge the executive, because that's their job, check and balances. That's what they're supposed to do. The only few that can do that, they're not that many. And when they do, they stand out based on Constitution. You call them radicals. If they stand out to challenge issues coming from the executive, you call them grown-up boys. So what else they got to do? They're just going to have to lay down and let Dr. Weah say, this is what I want. And so, then they left with the media institution to actually challenge them, right? But they have no jurisdiction over the executive. Nobody have the jurisdiction except the Constitution. Anyway, but the media institution is not checking about this. They can't check nothing. They can just write. They can't check nothing. But those that are responsible, they should at least someday stand up and say, tell us. We're not going to reject it, but explain to us. Give us a little bit more information. And that perhaps is lacking right now. And I'm hoping that our brothers and sisters, after the next election, there will be some folks that will be coming in, new folks that will be coming in. Well, actually not necessarily being rude to the executive, not necessarily challenging everything to the executive, but the executive must be able to have the ability to explain to the lawmakers why they're requesting certain things. And the explanation must make sense, and it must be in the interest of the Republic of Liberia. And that's the new folks that are going to come in. I promise you this, the young folks and the old folks, people who wants to run now in next election, they are very, very much in Liberia now. If we stay with the trajectory, the young or the incoming leadership or the incoming legislature, they are not somebody that you're going to run your toes over. Did I say toe? I'll take that back. You're not going to run them over. But anyway, folks, that's Dr. Weah. Let's go. Before I go on to my main topic here tonight again, share this video. Share this video, because there's going to be a lot I'm going to be unpacking here tonight. Share this video, because if you don't share this video, that's up to you. There's nothing I can do. But here's the interesting thing. Those that are going to miss this show, perhaps they can go and replay later, but it would be better if they have the fresh hand information. That, oh yeah, what something to say last night? No. Come in, turn to us and listen in. Well, here we don't cussle. Here we don't degrade. Here we respect everybody. However, we ask you to respect us and give us the opportunity to express ourselves, to try to convince you to accept whatever it is we're putting out there. However, it will be foolish on my part to expect an intellectual that comes to my forum, to expect them to accept whatever that I'm giving them. No, far from it. Because I know these people are sophisticated enough to challenge me and challenge the essence of whatever it is that I'm putting out there. The premises that are going to be coming out. What exactly Samson Toe is standing? What platform is he on? Those are the people that come to my platform. And usually you look at my page, you find 11, 12, 13, but solid educational background. They don't come here to listen to cuss. They come here for intellectual nourishment. I love it when I say that. Let's get on. That's Dr. Weah, folks. That's Dr. Weah. Let's go on. During the election, Dr. Weah was out there in the mud. And this is the third mud now. If Dr. Weah was to go back to the same place is still muddy. So what was the essence of him walking in that mud? I thought he did that so to recognize what our people are going through, so that when the rainy season time comes, hopefully he will be able to do one or two things. It's not happening. That same area, the video I'm about to show you right now, what Dr. Weah was walking at the time. You go there right now, the mud area is still there. It hasn't changed. In the dry season, it's going to be dry. But in the rainy season, same thing. Nothing have changed. So those are the kinds of stuff that I hope that Dr. Weah will pay attention to. Let's watch the video. Then I'll come back with my actual story tonight. It's a deep one. It's a very deep one and very, very concerning. Very, very troubling. I'm not too sure. I'm not going to say the story is true story or what have you, but it's out there. And it's concerning. It's very troubling. As a Liberian, you need to pay attention to these kinds of stuff. These are things that we never pay attention to. And then before we look, what happened? How did this thing happen? The war didn't just happen overnight. Gradually. And I'm not saying war coming. So please, don't put me in that position. But every little thing that we say and do that affect our people, we need to pay attention to it. And we, Liberians, I always say that we have the ability to resolve before it gets too dangerous. We have the ability to resolve if we want to. Because you cannot bring Ghanaians to resolve our issue. You cannot bring any other foreigner to resolve our issue. They will come in to try to mediate and try to bring out resolution. By that point, some Liberians might not be satisfied with the result of the resolution. But because of the international community being imposed on the Liberian people to settle things, many people might not be satisfied. But because they have no other means, they will accept it. But why do we even have to get to that point? When we ourselves can try to settle it and try to find reason for all parties involved to see common ground that we can stand up and move this country forward. That's all that I say. Let's watch. Folks, it's an interesting show tonight. It's a very interesting show. Let's watch.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you. Man, I think it's finished. Salome said, not done. Let's make sure you do that same thing.
thought I'd do that so that we all would be able to understand that these things, conversation, engagement require, first thing, the rules, as far as I'm concerned, is the basic rule of engagement is the ability to respect each other. Because once you do that, you tend to listen. Not necessarily agreeing with whatever is being put out there, but you tend to listen. And that's what I continue to play this respect stuff. Right there, that's Dr. Weir. And the caution over there says, International Justice Group link President Weir to gangster paradise. Talking about Liberia. And this story was written by one Sanders from Daily Observer. And this story was written September 12, 2019. So when I read this story, I said, okay, let's go a little bit deeper than that. What exactly this story is about? I'll read it. I'm going to read it. But then I said, okay, who are this group here? I've never heard of them before. What group is it? International Justice Group? What is it? And then I research. And then I start finding out the makeup of the team. Highly, highly sophisticated, educated group of people that cares not just for Liberians, but that have been in the vanguard of seeking justice for poor people all over the world. And this group is very interesting. Their engagement with respect to Liberia is very interesting because most of them, in fact, their leadership is a Liberian as well. But he's respected in the international community for his action of seeking justice. So when I read this story, I decided to go a little bit deeper because the story seemed to be something of what did you just say? That kind of story. And then I thought, okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Folks, share these videos. I'm telling you, it's very interesting. Go to Daily Observer and look for the International Justice Group. Link President Weir to Gangster Paradise, and you will read it. Let's read it. Let's read it. I'll take my time, folks. Just a minute. Okay. I'll take my time. All right. The international, it says now, I'm reading the story, folks, strictly from the Observer page. The International Justice Group, IJG, a non-governmental organization based in the United States, says the wave of criminal activities and attack on peaceful citizens by people believed to be members of the Coalition for Democratic Change is taking place with acquaintances of President Weir, and by his silence on the prevailing violent activity, he is suspected to be supporting it without realizing that he is president for all Liberians. This is an international group. This is if you go on their page and look at the who's who, they are not all Liberians. So for them to make a statement like this, and I believe that they must have had some serious discussion to be able to put out something like this, to try the violent wave of violence, to try to link the president of the Republic of Liberia to this particular violence. I'm sure they must have done their homework. I will expect and I will hope. Let's read on. In a statement issued over the weekend, the IJG referenced recent attacks on defeated Moserado County District 15 Representative candidate Terry Ure and Justin Taylor. Ms. Taylor, who came under attack by unidentified men after voicing allegations of Monroe Acting City Major Jefferson Kochi involvement in atrocity during the Liberian Civil War. Ure was attacked by supporters of Abu Kamara, who are also members of the ruling party CDC, who destroyed her vehicle and nearly set ablaze the building in which she took refuge from attack. Folks, these kinds of stuff, they are not just written for Liberians to read. Liberian community need to know, Liberians themselves need to know that these kinds of stuff, I'm not taking side whether it's true or it's not true. That's not my point right now, and I will deal with that. But the people that are supposed to be investing for Liberians to be able to find work and not just depend on government also read these things. And I told you guys before, investment, to invest in a country, first thing, you have to have a bunch of people who are willing to invest. Yes, sometimes you have an individual who got money they want to invest. But the intent of an investment, I would suppose, I'm not an economist, so I won't go deep into that, but common sense would say that you want to put something somewhere to be able to get profit back. You want to invest into certain places where you will be able to get profit. That's just common sense. Because if not, why would people want to put money somewhere if they're not going to get anything back in return? Here in the United States, got retirement fund. And the retirement fund, they go and invest into stock market. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. And if they don't, those of us that have the retirement fund will eat whatever they don't have. But sometimes they get something. And the reason of that, they made a determination that we will invest into certain activities and we will also get something back. And if you're asking the international community, you're just coming from war, asking the international community to invest into you, what do you have to offer in return? We depend on gold, diamond, timber, and iron ore, rubber. That's fine. But what's about the human capital? Can they produce? Do you have workers? If God bless us today and if somebody, God help us, and there's a big company, so do we have the human capital? Do we have the trained mind? Do we have people that will be able to work, or do we expect the company to go and hire foreigners to come and work in Liberia, while Liberians are there becoming spectators once again? Let me go and read. I'm bringing these points on that we as Liberians, if we don't know how to carry on activities of just running a government, or trying to simply be in an opposition to a government, or trying to be a reporter, if we don't know how to do that, if we just want to do these things, either way, whether the government attacking opposition or opposition making statement, reckless statement that are not founded in truth, or a reporter coming out and writing things that perhaps going to be damaging to individual character, at the same time damaging to the country to which they profess to be promoting. These are things that we as Liberians must be able to look at. And you would think that the government will have somebody, whether it be on payroll or whatever, that will peruse these internet services about Liberia and try to rebut immediately when these kinds of things comes out. If you know you're not involved in anything, I've not heard anything, and maybe they have, maybe they reported, somebody came out and said something, but what I read, and I'm going to be reading this, they said they were not going to make any comment. The government said they're not going to make any comment until they be able to read it. Up to this point, I'm not seeing anything else. In the meantime, this thing that I'm reading is floating out there. Somebody that have intention to invest in Liberia. Let me just do a little research here. Let me just, Liberia. And all these things, good. All of these things comes out. The person start reading. Oh. Let me continue. Okay. According to the paper now, some of Uri's supporters were also injured in the violence Live video. This is the one that really got my imagination and got my attention, folks. Listen to this. Okay, let me read that again. Some of your supporters were also injured in the violence. Live video footage on social media show members of the Liberian National Police (LNP) in full readiness to bring the situation under control. Instead, it says, the video footage show the police stood at a distance watching the violence going on without any intervention, in line with its principle to serve and protect. And you want people to put $1 million or so in there. When the people read this thing, the first thing here's the thing here. Any foreigner that read this thing, they're not going to say, oh, the police are CDC policeman. They're not going to say that. Only we Liberian would say something like that. The person who wants to investigate this thing that the police standing by what people doing damage to other people's property, they're not going to say, oh, the police are CDC policemen. They can do that. They will not say that. They will say, oh, those who are supposed to protect and serve and protect are standing by while people are damaging other people's property. What would be the logical conclusion? I take my $1 million in there. Somebody someday decide to demonstrate. The police gonna stand by and nothing gonna be done. I will take my money somewhere where it's safe. Am I not making sense? These are things that we Liberians can do to help ourselves. You might not like the government in power today. You might not like the activities of the government. You might not like the opposition. You might not like the activity of the opposition. But when you are given a responsibility, especially in the law enforcement area, because when you, for example, if you arrest somebody and turn the person over to the court system, justice is blind. It's supposed to be. But with this kinds of idea or with this kinds of example that people just talk about here, how is it that people are going to even trust the judicial system in Liberia? How will you even trust the justice, the police, and all the kinds of people that are in the judiciary? You can't. Let's read. The IJ condemns the brutal attack on fellow politician Terry Uri as an act of treachery, political intimidation, and attempted murder, much like the alleged rape against and attempted murder of Miss Justin Taylor, the statement said. According to IG, its investigation has established, they have done an investigation according to them. Okay, its investigation, all right, let's go there. According to IJG, its investigation has established that acting City Mayor Jefferson Kochi, in concept with CDC party leadership and the entire top and middle level staff of the National Security Agency, are coordinating serious attack against citizen civilians and are encouraging President Weah to purchase arms. Thanks for use against his own people. This thing is out there. I'm not the only person reading it. I'm not the only person reading it. And this time around, I truly believe that for some reason, God forbid, and Jesus Christ help us, God forbid, if we do any kinds of thing that will bring us back to where we were 10, 15, 20 years ago, we're done. Somali next. That's it. The international community, all they're going to do is just make sure they secure the border between Ivory Coast, Liberia, between Guinea, Liberia, between Sierra Leone, Liberia, so you don't have no spillover. That would be the first thing they will want to do. And they'll say, okay, you ever kill yourself? When you tired, come to us. And then we, the Liberian diaspora, going to be all over here again, having meeting here, going to this meeting ground, going to the all places, the Benjo, whatever they want to call them, just so that we can find peace again. Why do we even have to go that far? All because perhaps you don't like opposition criticizing the government, or because opposition do not like the operational services the government is handing out, so they want to criticize, but instead they're going somewhere. All of these things, the international community is watching. The criticism, the behavior, the attack, counterattack, they're not coming from Nigerians, they're not coming from Sierra Leone, they're not coming from Guineans, they're not coming from Ivorians, they're coming from Liberia against Liberia. At this point, if those that are serving the government, if you cannot understand that this government is not a particular party government, then I think you guys are not doing us a favor. Because your time will come and go. I don't care what happened. You can stay 12, 30, 40 years. Your time will come and go. And other people will come. Then what? Open your arms. Embrace Liberians. If there's something that is happening in a country, have a discussion. Open discussion. And let those who have grievances, let them publicly express their grievances to the people. Through them, you will be able to understand what is happening in the little corner of Liberia. But here we go here. They said Jefferson Kochi and most of the security apparatus are convincing and asking Dr. Weah to purchase arms. Folks, you can go on, I don't call it Data Observer. It's there. I'm not making it up. Okay. And I'm not saying this is a true story either, because I don't know that. I'm just reading. I'm just telling you if these things are happening. And if they are true, then we have serious problem. I hope they're not. Let's read. Okay. On the watch of the president, on the watch of President Weah, the IJC released further indication. Kochi has recruited Waba Keseli, and that's Woluba Keseli, an inmate who was at the Monrovia Central Prison for armed robbery. And he is being used along with some agents of the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency who viciously assaulted, raped, and brutalized Justin Taylor and left her to die from her physical and psychological wounds in that helpless state. An act the IJG considered to be attempted murder, for which such allegation perpetrator must be prosecuted and convicted if found guilty. These people, they have, if you go and research IGC, you will understand that they are not just sitting down. And after this, I will tell you who's leading them. Who's leading them? And I'm asking, I'm encouraging all them. But of course, people who come on Liberian Public Radio platform, especially a conversation with, these are intelligent people. As I'm speaking right now, they're all on the glued to the computer trying to find these articles and all those and try to research those this international justice group. Who are they? I know by now they know what I'm talking about. They know who they are because they have done their research, because that's who my audience is. Very intelligent, very, very smart. They know exactly. So I'm just reading just to keep conversation, but they know exactly what I'm talking about by now. Okay, let's go on. Okay, let's read. The U.S.-based group monitor activities in Liberia also alleges that the government of President Weah has instituted an ignoble body to supervise Jefferson Kochi and a gangster group referred to as a strike force. They already have a group, strike force. Okay, according to them, according to this paper. All right, as a strike force that is allegedly leading to intimidate, harass, and perpetrate violence against Liberian citizens. The group, the IJG, said comprise members of the CDC and government steward, and they include the fathering. Now they're going to name people. These things are public knowledge. After saying all of these things about violence, now they're going to name who they believe to be members. And nobody's saying anything. Nobody coming out to refute this thing here. I've not seen it. Maybe they have. I've not seen it. I think this is, instead of the government having some sort of a mouthpiece, truth or fiction, these are kinds of stuff the government needs to take into consideration. Whether they have paid agent here in the United States or whatever, these people need to attack these things and refute them if they are not truth. If they are true, find means to mitigate these things, because they cannot be happening and expect the international community to continue to import money in that country or to find decent investor. And I use the word decent investor. Somebody that will come in, not only investing in the country, but also investing in the Liberian people, and hopefully they're going to get something in return. By doing so, they will want, and that's a decent investor. By doing so, they will want you to respect the rights, the human rights of the Liberian as well. That's what I use the word decent investor. Okay? So I'm saying this. Now they're going to name folks. Let's read. Let's see who all they name here. Folks, this is interesting, though. This is interesting. This is interesting because now they're going to name people. I'm finished, Josh Wheeler. I'm finished. There's another one. There's another article. Be ready, my brother. My brother, be ready. No, this is Mr. Toe, not Mr. So. But what make it, Josh, let's talk a little bit. If I don't read this thing, is that going to make the story go away? The story was written in a Daily Observer, one of the major newspaper in Liberia. And you want to tell me, say, because I'm reading, I'm giving credence? Then you're not taking it serious. Your job, if you know this story is not true, you need to attack the story. Don't worry about the messenger. I'm only the messenger here. So I will hope that you will do your research and go and read about these people so you can put some sort of a piece paper together to refute, to rebut these people. Don't come out here and try to blame me. Then you're missing the point, my brother. Okay, let me go on. They're going to name the people now. Moluba Mono CDC party chairman. Yes, my own sister. Piso Sadie Tai, my own sister. Okay. Piso Sadie Tai, Minister of Agenda. Akaras Gray, Monserrado County District 8 Representative. Jefferson Kochi, Acting Mayor, Monrovia City Government. Marcus Zulue, Deputy Director for Administration, DEA. Lorenzo Panhan, Deputy Director for Operation, DEA. Okay. Gerald F. Smith, Deputy Director for Administration, NSA. And Jones Blamo, Deputy Director VIP Affair, NSA. Order as Sam Senior, Deputy Director Special Operation, NSA. Edward Sharp, Deputy Director Planning Research Analysis, NSA. Tor Gallo, my own friend. Okay, Tor Gallo, Assistant Director for Administration, NSA. Naga Apton, Assistant Director VIP Affairs, NSA. Emmanuel Jackson, Assistant Director of Planning, Research, and Analysis. Okay. Stephen Dolo, Director for Field Operation, NSA. Ofori Dia, another brother of mine. Ofori Dia, Director for Leeward Counties. Augustine Nambe, General Power, leading operates for NSA. And Samson Nambe and other on his control, leading operators of NSA. Folks, I'm not making these things up. They're in here. I'm not the only person that reading these things. That's why I was telling brother George here to go and do research. If you truly believe in this government, don't say something to say no. Go and read a story and do some research why these things were written, who supplied these people the information. And like I said, there are Liberians among these people. This group has a branch in Liberia. And this group is recognized, internationally recognized. You can't fool around with them. So your best bet, instead of being violent, take the intellectual level. Take the intellectual route to engage these people. If what they're saying, if there's not truth, according to George, if they are not true, you go and do your research, then you put up a paper. That's how intellectual engage. That's how you will win this battle. It's not by fighting, by hurting, by doing nothing else you will win. Because every time there's little violence that comes out, the person say, you see, we told you. But you come and engage the people intellectually by writing papers, by writing things, refuting, just listing whatever they say one point, then you say, okay, this is your point, you say, but let's look at this. This is what happened that day. This is what happened. This is what happened. You make it black, their statement, you make it black, your own statement, you make it red. That's how you get involved. Now, if you do that, the intellectual among us will read your paper. But by you coming out here and says Samson told you, giving them credence by reading this thing, then you're not being sincere, my brother. Okay? Okay, sit down there. These are serious things. I'm not saying the government should respond to Samson to allegation. I'm not saying the government should respond to other people. This is international justice group based here in the United States. And then there's more. I'm going to read another article. And this one, if it's true, then we have issues. Let me finish this. Samson told LeBron Public. I'm just responding to George. I normally don't do that, but he seemed to be an intellectual as well. He has not insulted me. He's just making his point, and that's about it. If he were to use one insult word, then I won't even talk to him. But I think he seemed to be intellectual, so that's what I'm responding to him. I normally don't do that. But anyway, let me read on. So the IJC says it has discovered, folks. Yeah, what I say? They say they not discover. It has discovered that the CDC government of Mr. Weir has got the country awash with arms. If IGC, if they're going to put a story like this to say they have discovered and they have no proof, then forget about journalism. Then forget about advocacy. Then they are truly dangerous to the well-being of the Liberian people. Because by you putting these things out, and if it is not true, then you're blocking the chopping of our people, the poor people. I'm talking about rich people chopping you. Because if the people are not investing in our country, how are our people going to survive? If you're going to write this, I hope by bringing this thing to light, I hope there's truth in it, so that whatever is happening, the people will be advised to stop these kinds of stuff. Let me read. Okay? Awash with arms in the hand of most untrained and indisciplined supporters of President Weir outside the structure of the national security apparatus and police. The intent, here we go. The intent, the IG said, is to create a private military to promulgate and protect the long-term power grab agenda of Mr. Weah to remain in power till death. Oh. That's what I'm reading everything. It's left for you to make your judgment. This man you're looking at over there, does he look like somebody that will want to stay in power until he die? The small thing that happening, the way people cussing him up, he want to resign, say, hey, I mean, I want to get out. You think Dr. Weah will want to stay in power until he die? He only 50-something, yo. But anyway, this is what people have written. And if we're going to do these things, if we're going to engage them, if you're going to prove that these things are fault, you have to do better than what people are saying. Oh, don't believe them. No. This is exactly what happened in this country. And between the Democrat and the Republican, when they're ready, the Democrat, they're the intellectual. Oh, nobody gonna read these kinds of stuff from a National Enquirer and believe that this is a true story. We're not gonna pay attention. We're not even gonna respond to that. And the National Enquirer story start picking up snow. Okay? Start picking up stuff. National Enquirer, the story start snowballing before you know it become a big thing. By the time the Democratic Party decided, oh, I think it's time for us to address this thing, then he has legs on his own. He has wings flying all over. Whereas if they were to start from the beginning and nip it, you won't have that. And this is exactly what is happening here. Let's deal with this right now. If these things are not truth, let's engage these people. Let them see. Let's see if they can bring up more information. Here's what you don't know. Before coming on air today, early this morning, I sent an email to the public affairs director asking him to come on air and help us to understand some of these stories. Up to the press time, there was no information from them. Nobody sent me anything. So I have done my work, contacted them, and nobody responded. Okay. So anyway, let's go on. When the executive mansion was contacted, here's the interesting thing now. Listen to this, and that's the last one, then I'll move on. When the executive mansion was contacted yesterday about the staging revolution, Deputy Presidential Press Secretary Smith Toby said, we cannot respond to such a statement. Folks, hold on 1 minute. We cannot respond to such a statement. Okay? We cannot respond to such statement that we have not seen and read ourselves. We will find a statement, read it, and respond. That was yesterday. Okay? Inquiry made by phone call and text messages to Mayor Kochi went unanswered. Okay? Let's go on, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Let's go on. So that's one section of it. Okay? Now let's go a little bit into the group themselves now. Let's go a little bit into the group themselves. Let's go a little bit into the group themselves so that we can find out if at all this group has anything to offer us. Let's look at the group. Okay? bear with me. Just bear with me here. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. All right. When you're in somebody's house and you're in their studio, and you're in your own studio in somebody's house, that's why you got the only house than my house. I only borrowing the area to make studios, so they can they stab me anytime. But anyway, let's go on. Let's go on, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. So let's look at this group. Let's look at this group. They call themselves the International. This is their website. If you go on the website, you'll find that there. Okay, you'll find the information. And I'm urging all of you to please do research on this group. Okay, do a little research on this group. All right. So when I went into their website and find out that this is the executive director of this international group. Very intelligent, very smart, lawyer, big time lawyer for human rights. Jerome J. Verde, as you know, used to be chairman of the TRC of Liberia. They have the contact. They have a branch in Liberia. I want you to do serious research on this group because I'm going to be reading another article here that the deputy wrote back in August 20-something. These things I'm saying to you, I'm not saying it for us to turn against this group. Far from it. Please, if you do that, then you're not doing yourself a favor. I want you to do research. I want you to read so you will understand what is happening. Every one of us, politics is interest. We all have our own angle from here and then. Don't come out here and tell me, say, you ain't got no angle. But when you read people's statement, when you look at their involvement into activities over the years, at least you can get one or two reasoning to say, okay, I think. As you know, Chairman Valley was the chairman of TRC, and they did some recommendation. And this young man has been involved into a human rights activity for a very long time, not just Liberia. Okay, at one time he went to South Africa and stayed in South Africa. Later he decided to come to the United States. Okay, so go and read about them. But this is the executive director, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. This is the executive director. Okay, let me now go to another subject. This will most likely rock you. You can come out here and say, oh, the people are lying and things like that. I want you to do research and read it. Okay, let's go on. Let me go to the next subject. And it's from the same group, though, from this group. Because their deputy director is the one that wrote the story that I'm about ready to read. And this story is concerning. The people bringing gun and things like that part, yeah. We Liberian, we use the local kind of story. Oh, something to bringing gun, yeah. Oh, something to carry gun in your mouth, yeah. Well, that one that we use the local kind of story. And I'm not trying to degrade it. I'm not trying to bring it down to that. But I'm just saying that something we use to these kinds of rumors and stuff like that. But let's read this other one. Samson told, before I do that, folks, do not disrespect me. Samson told.
You will not disrespect because I will on
As I told you already, I contacted these people very early this morning. In fact, the gentleman that is in charge of the public affairs of this group, he based in Europe. And if you go and look on the page and do research, you will see all their pictures. They're not hiding anything. They put all their pictures and tell you who they are. So they're not hiding. They're not hiding. Go on to their page. Just go to Google and type international justice group. And if you say Liberia, then most of these stories will come up. But go and do international justice group, and you will see these people. Okay? And they will tell you who they are. They give you the whole background. One of the things they said, though, if you continue, they tell you that if you read this page, yeah, but if you continue, then we are telling you what we believe in. We're not asking you to accept it or deny. Simple as that. Let's go on. Samson told LeBron Pablito. Here's the other article. President Weah has U.S.-EU travel ban access freeze list. My people, yes. This article written by Smart News, they say. But the guy who, if you go onto this guy picture, the deputy of the International Justice Group, their deputy, if you put his name into Google, this article will come up. Okay, you will see this article on his writing, and so okay. But let's go ahead. It says President Weah, and it was written back in August 22nd, 2019, not too long ago. I never saw that. And by always perusing Facebook, and maybe that particular time I wasn't looking, but I didn't see it. Okay, so let's read it. Interesting, folks. And these people, they're not there to hide anything. I don't think they're there to pull punches either. They go and give people, they name people. They don't just say maybe, they say this person, that person, names. They're not hiding themselves. Okay. Some 2 months ago, the story goes, some 2 months ago, it was reported in the media that the former head of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Mr. Jimmy Vodic, was living in his hideout in South Africa and headed for the United States. Why in the United States? The former TRC boss testified before the U.S. Congress. Folks, these things are getting deeper. These things are getting deeper. The United States Congress is asking people to testify, and they believe in this young man, the TRC chief. Let's read on. Don't come here and say something to you giving legs to this story. The story is there. That don't mean who giving the leg. The story is there. We need to find out what's going on. I never heard of this thing until I started doing the research from an article about that was written in Daily Observer. Okay, let's read on. Why in the United States, okay, Congress for the imposition of sanction on the government of the Republic of Liberia. They ask him to testify. And in those testimony, they ask you your opinion. And he's gonna have to state his opinion. So let's go on. And they're saying that they're gonna put in sanction, talking about sanction. Okay. According to information gathered from our Washington source, there were about 200 names being currently verified by some 29 war and economic crime investigators that had visited Liberia on several occasions from the era of former President Samuel Doe to present. My people, this thing we're playing with. And these people put sanction on us with doom. Because here's what some of the things they're going to do. The remittances that are coming from the Liberian diaspora in the United States. They might say, you know what? Because the certain government official involved in this, we want a certain amount to go out. Let the government take upon itself and try to clarify these things. The government, don't say the government can't clarify everything. This is important. Somebody going to Congress, United States Congress, and making statements, and the government is saying they can't clarify everything. This is not everything. They're supposed to be part of their duty, especially the foreign ministry. They should be aware of these things. Don't just blow them away until they start picking up steam. Then you say you want to address them. By then they have legs, they have wings, they're flying by themselves. And now you want to use, and I'm just metaphorically now. You're gonna use buckshot to shoot and go whang all over to try to tackle all of the stuff that have wings. You might not get all. Let me read on. These things are very, very important. Not only to the government, but to the Liberian people themselves. Because what these people are doing, they're establishing records, even if it is not true. The government must find people to attack these things, not negatively, but prove that these things are not true. If the former TRC chairman gone to the Congress to testify, follow what was his testimony? What did he say? And can you ask the Congress if the Liberian government must have the opportunity to rebut these things? But we're not doing that. And they're not gonna run after you here. They ain't ready yet. These things are gonna be building up. Record upon record. Then when they get to a certain stage, then they say, okay, we'll pick it up now because they have enough evidence. Fault or not. But they have substantial evidence that they're gonna go on now. Now, then that's the time the government of the Republic of Liberia will start regulating their mind, trying to put lawyers together. This is the time that you send one or two lawyers from Liberia, come over and say, what did man say to you? This is what going on. These are our proof. You're not going to do it. Somebody telling me, oh, the government can't respond to everything. Okay. That one place something talking from town. Don't respond to me. Respond to the issue. Let's read on, folks. It's like I said, if you miss this tonight, you're going to miss something. Okay? All right, let's read on. Here's the interesting thing here, folks. 29 investigators that have visited Liberia on several occasions from the era of former President Samuel Doe. You see how the people can keep record? Here's a thing that you need to know about United States. Just think about it. I graduated about almost 200 years ago. The class that I graduated with, the criminal justice major class that I graduated with, since then, there have been other students that come after. They are not short of investigators. They can take one case and put 2 or 3 people on it for 20 years. That's their pure job. They're gonna get paid. They're just there to investigate. And they compile records. And this, I'm telling you because I read a story, and there's a very interesting one here as well. These people are not playing around. We need to find people. The government need to respond. Don't just sit down in the executive mansion. We ain't read it yet. When reader will respond. Okay. The Smith Toby, he himself used to be here. He knows the system. Here in the United States, for example, you go for interview. And I'm just giving you some sidebar here, folks. You don't want to stay, that's fine, you can go. You go for an interview. What do the American system, what do they say? You look at somebody in the eyes, eye to eyes. Back home, growing up, when you do that, the people think that you disrespectful, you rude. The man just look at you straight in the eye and just talk to you. Then you sung and smart. The old man, then when you're talking to them, you got to bend your head. That's a form of respect. Not here, oh. Yeah, you're talking to somebody, you bend your head, the thing say you lying. Yeah, you bend your hair, you talking slow, mostly the things that you lying and you're untruthful. That's why when they say when you're talking to somebody, you look straight in their eyes. Cut you different. Why are the people over there saying, oh, the government just people, let them write. We know what we do. We'll just do our job. No, people are getting involved. Let's read on. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Okay, so 29 investigators. Okay, have been over there since Samuel Doe time. The atrocity committed and records and recorded from this Doe era up to the WIA CDC-led government. Led government has been concluded, but the technical detail are slowly being worked out. Let me read that again. I will shut up my mouth. I just want you to hear this one. Let me read that again. Let me read it. Let me read it. Let me read it, and I will not talk plenty. According to information gathered from our Washington source, there are about 200 names being currently verified by some 29 war and economic crime investigators that had visited Liberia on several occasions from the era of former President Samuel Doe up to present. The atrocity committed and recorded from the Doe era up to the WIA-led government has been concluded, but the technical details are slowly being worked out. You get that? You get that? Now, I'm not too sure how true this story is, and I'm not taking it to the bank either. But if this story is true, that people have already finished making papers work, and they are concluded, except to bring out a technical issue, details, or who did what and what have you. Folks, if this story is true, then we have to prepare ourselves. Let's go ahead. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, the travel ban and access freezes in a similar style like that of the Charles Taylor era. Names as far back as the Doe era are on the list. The head of the Project Liberia in a state recently removed in the State Department. And now listen to this one. The head of the Liberian desk was recently removed from the Liberian desk for his continued plea for sympathy on those being investigated due to his ongoing ties with Liberia. You get that? The person on Liberian desk at the State Department recently was removed, according to the story, because the person have ties with people in Liberia and expressing sympathy. And the people want, yeah, they want to find out what's going on. Okay. So he has been appointed head of the Gambia desk in an effort to bring the former president of Gambia, Yahya Jammeh, to justice. So that person probably gone, they're saying somewhere else. Let's read. And when you go to that story, you see the guy who wrote the story, picture there, he's the deputy. Luga Sparre, Principal Executive Director, IJG International Justice Group, Washington, D.C. A picture that he ain't hiding anything. So you want to contact him, you got an email and stuff like that, you can do. Folks, these people are not hiding. It's interesting. So let's go ahead. Let's read some more. But don't just take it from me, because maybe I'm reading it like somebody from Town. Maybe if you yourself, the book people, you start reading it, you'll make sense out of it. Maybe I'm not making sense out of it because from Town. But let's read on. It is also believed that an international corporate institute operating in Liberia is sponsoring the sanction regime against President Weah-led government. Unfortunately for the Weah-led government, it is going down a slippery slope at an uncontrollable pace, and sooner than later it will hit rock bottom. Let's stay here and continue because each other on Facebook, yeah? I told you, whatever we do, how we say, what we say about each other, people are watching. People are watching. You might not like this government, But this is a government that was elected. If the government is doing something that perhaps you're not satisfied with, engage them. If they refuse, they must say I resign. But anyway, let me read on a very serious note. Let's read on. According to one of the investigators on the Liberian project, all United States citizens. This is the interesting one that I've been waiting for all night, my people. This is what I've been waiting for all night. And thank God. I love it. This is a funny one. But now, folks, I'm laughing because the way the people attacking and nobody responding. That's the point that I'm laughing. Let's read it. According to one of the investigators on the Liberian project, all United States citizens that are currently working in the Weah-led government name will be automatically placed on the sanction list. Some of these names mentioned were he coming name. They may he ain't scared of name. He ain't scared. He just put name out there. Some of the name, it says some, not all. Some of the name mentioned were Tall Gallo. The Tall Gallo name come out again, one people. Tall Gallo, my good friend. Here come my sister name again. Piso, Sadie Tai, okay? Noelle Diggs, Gerald Smith, Prince Woods, James Blambo, Jerome Kokoya. Huh? Are they serious? Is that not a seeing Jerome Kokoya who's delivering election result upon result? He's going to be on the sanction list according to the story? My people. This is getting to be interesting. Jerome Kokoya. Because they said these people are American citizens. I don't know how they know, but I'm not even going to question that. I'm just reading to you people. I'm reading the article. Go and do research. Don't take what I'm reading. I didn't write this thing. Go do research and you will find the article. This article, particular article, was written by Smart News. Just put in Smart News, okay? August 22nd, 2019, and you will see, okay? They say Jerome Kokoya, Sam Joe, and the list goes on, okay? All right, let's go. The choice to make Liberia great again lies in the preview of the Liberian president. The establishment for war and economic court is not going anywhere anytime soon. The president of the Republic of Liberia either establishes a war and economic crime court or suffer a similar fate of that of Charles Taylor and Samuel. Ooh, what are you people talking about? I didn't read that part today. What kind of nonsense is this? My doctor, no, that one part that I separate myself from it. I jump over it. Not only me jumping, I grab Dr. We are hawking and we jump over it, my man. They think that part, that one, that's something else. Samson, let me fun. These are they're out there, folks. I'm just making light out of it, but they're serious. They're serious. Let's go on. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Okay. What is currently happening in Liberia is stage management, particularly to destroy the economy of the Republic of Liberia, allowing the population to rise up against the president and his CDC-led government. Unfortunately for Liberia president of the Republic, unfortunately for the president of the Republic of Liberia, Mr. George Manuel Weah, has hit her in the support of those who committed heinous crimes against humanity and stole millions of the Republic money that is being kept in foreign banks. Yeah, begin. This one part, if these things are not addressed, we're gonna have serious problem. They're going back to door error. Now let's look at Dr. Weah government. Who's in Dr. Weah government that has a connection to Dole? Okay, I'm not gonna name names. You know. All right, let's go ahead. Listen to this one. A few days ago, the United States Department of State released yet another damning report on the CDC-led government, citing massive corruption, impunity, censorship, harassment of the press. And you want to tell me, say you don't want to deal with it, eh? People. Folks, this is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I laugh and carry on just to keep myself going, but this is a very serious business. If what is being written here, if these things are true, then we have serious problem. However, we Liberians can fix just about anything we want to fix. First, let's recognize that Dr. Weah was duly elected. Second, let's recognize that we Liberians has the future of Liberia in our hands. Third, let's recognize that we Liberians as a people must be free from intimidation, from any kinds of harassment. Once we recognize those little stuff, then it's easy to push things forward. And I'm not making any kind of judgment here or conclusive statement or what have you. But from just reading this thing, I think these people are somehow pushing. And I think that's exactly what the international community would do, to push President Weah to establish war and economic crime court in Liberia. Because those that are because they have the records. They have the individuals in Liberia that are involved in these shady deeds, that take money away from poor people. They have their names. They have these people because you can't go and have 29 investigators over all these years and don't have anything. They have those. But here's what's going to happen. I suspect these people, along with the United States Congress, will pressure Dr. Weah to establish the War and Economic Crime Court in Liberia. 2 weeks ago, I came up with a story or a segment of my show, which was strictly addressing the need of the war and economic court system in Liberia. And what I was saying then, and it's true now, that this government, no matter what, this thing gonna happen. They should take the lead. They should, because Dr. Weah, I don't, unless, and I say unless because I don't see it. Being a corrupt person, I just don't see it. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe I can't see. But I'm entitled to my opinion as well. But the point that I'm making here is this. Dr. Weah and his people should take the lead. Cut the ties of those who are involved in these kinds of stuff. The investigator, they can give you names. They can consult you and tell you, say, these are the people that are responsible for the economic misery in Liberia. That will help your government to move forward. Either they will come back and give you an ultimatum. Either you establish this war and economic crime court in Liberia for those who are responsible for the 250,000 lives in Liberia lost, to be prosecuted and be brought to justice. Or we're going to put the entire government and all of those that are involved, because they just name people here, sanction, and then put them on the travel ban list. They did it before. Then what? And according to the first story that I was reading, where they say, according to the paper, that people are trying to pursue Dr. Weah to purchase arms or already have arms in Liberia. And one of the things Justine Taylor mentioned in her video, and perhaps these people already have that record. So she's just trying to confirm what these people already know. Or maybe not. But the government of the Republic of Liberia need to challenge these things. Show us. If you think we have guns in the place, come and prove to us. Or even maybe some people do. Dr. Weah has no knowledge. And when the investigator comes in, they're going to be protected. That's for sure. And they can point out those who are responsible. But we don't want to address it. We say, no, the government cannot address things right now. We didn't read it yet. When you will read it, my man, you press secretary in the executive marshal, what other job you got to do? Every day, read every newspaper in the world. All you have to do, you don't even have to put everything, just put Liberia, Google Liberia. And all the other nonsense Samson told them in writing, all will come up. But then you look at the story and see which one you need to address. It's one of these things where somebody who used to be the head of TRC that brought peace in Liberia and going to the Congress of the United States where discussion of sanction is being happening. What is your response, my brother? Why are you not responding? We come here every day, faction, friction, versus this, political cartel. What you're talking about? In the meantime, why people continue to focus Dr. Weah's attention on enemy of the state? The real power struggle is happening in the hall of the Congress. I hear anything here with did you hear me reading anything where they contacted the Liberian ambassador? No. It is the embassy job to find out what these people are saying. Most likely he was invited. Because it's not something secret. I didn't say there was a secret hearing. And the person at the Liberian desk, according to the story, was removed because of his sympathy towards those who are considered to be criminals in the government, according to the story. So you can't, and I'm saying it again, you can't just jump over this one. This thing must be attacked. All of us as Liberians must investigate, must do research on this group. And I bet you if you go deeper, you will see some story. I just read the two stories because they were interesting. That's all. I didn't go deeper than that. But folks, we're getting there. Things are not the way they're supposed to be. Let me give you this other music. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. Like I said, every time when I do this thing, I give you music. And this music is called Don't Disrespect Me.
Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because you see me the buffer. Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because I will on donga. We not build it, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not build it, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. I go.
Okay, folks, we will try something here very shortly here. I'm going to ask Mr. So to give me a call, Mr. Alfonso So, but I don't even see his name here. I don't even see him here tonight. He's not on here. So I was going to ask him to give me a call. Yeah, I'm going to open the line, Josh. Definitely, I would like to hear from you because you're all over the place here. I really like to have I really like to hear from you as well. I'm going to open the line, my brother. Don't worry. But I want to do something here, folks. Here on Liberian Public, we're trying some new ideas where instead of just calling on the phone, we like to for people to call in on the Skype or call in a video. But it's not something like Facebook where you're talking to somebody way up here talking above your head. That's not what I'm going to do. And so we're trying to put in place some stuff that we're trying to do here, but some new equipment we're trying to test and things like that. So I'm hoping that Mr. So will call me. Mr. So, if you hear this, but I don't even see him on here, so most likely he's not there. But I will now open a line, folks. I will open a line, and those of you that you want to call me, give me a call. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Let me go on here. Okay, give me a call. Give me a call here. Let me put it on. And yes, I think we can make it. Okay. So in the process, though, if you call and you hear business tone, because I have one phone here, I can have 2, 3, 4 people on the line, but I don't want to do that because that's when you have people not muting themselves and you have noise and somebody who's speaking you can't hardly hearing, and that's why I always like for one person to speak, and then after that we'll bring in another person. But please make it brief so that other people who might want to call in will have the opportunity to express themselves. This is about Liberia. It's not about any one individual, and it's not even about me. All right. So let's put this up here. Samson to oops, I can't do that. I have to do this. Okay, let's put it up. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Yeah, it's the number to call, folks. Give me a call. Okay. In the meantime, you also heard that the president of the Republic of Liberia have asked, I think, for 34 billion Liberian dollar to be printed because they're trying to handle the monetary situation in Liberia is getting bad, so they're trying to get hold of it. But their explanation, they all over the place. Go on, it's on Front Page Africa. You can read that as well. But if that's the case, who's going to challenge the president, folks? Is the legislature going to say, give us more explanation? And so that is the $1 million question. And their job is to do the check and balance. That's it. Nothing else. And like I said earlier, those who are supposed to be doing it, people call them, if they question the president, they call them great man. They come back and say, well, we don't agree with it, they call them radical. So I'm not too sure how this whole thing going to end. But then again, it's Friday evening, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Give me a call here, 916-533-2048, and ask a question or make your comment. It's important that you do so. If you're going to, please do so. George, the number is up there, my brother. Maybe if you can't see it up there, let me just put it up here. All right, that's the number, folks. I'm going to put it up now. It's already up there, but if you can't see it, just give me a call. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. It's Friday, folks. I'm not going to be here all night. Okay. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
My name is George Wida. I'm calling from Australia.
Oh, okay, Josh. Good evening to you. Good morning to I don't know what time it is, but thank you very much for keeping up with us from the start, and you've been with us here for a very long time, making some points and things that normally I don't engage. Facebook respond and things that, but I thought that you seem to be intelligent. You don't use words that you don't want people to use on you, and so those kinds of people that like to engage them. What's on your mind? So what do you think I'm making? Because you say here, these are these are not true, and I need to debunk. But what exactly are you trying to say, sir?
Yes, Mr. Tu. Well, thank you so much for having me. I've been following the show, and exactly as you said, I've been very critical of some of the things you've said. However, we can disagree, but we can still remain civil at the same time. So here is my point. One of the news stories you read talked about the government buying arms, and it's something you really try to challenge my intellect, you know if the government is not on in any arm embargo from any from the UN or anyone, and the president has the armed forces. He is the commander in chief of the armed forces of Liberia. Now he can instruct them to do whatever he wants them to do. Why would the president now go and buy arms for maybe malicious? That's questionable. And the second thing that I got to say is that about the news stories. Look, there are thousands of people who, oppose this government, and they continue to write stories, And look, not everything. I don't think there's everything that people need to give credence, as far as the government. For the fact of the matter is that I've been following the U.S. news and most of the stories about Congress inviting people. There's no time. The World Wide Web is available to everyone. There's no time I've ever seen Jerome Vaudier being measured as an invitee at Congress to make any explanation. I only read this story, myself read this story before, but I just trusted it because it had no relevance. But, sometimes it's good that you brought it up so that people can, also get to know that some people are just bent on spreading falsehoods, around the place.
Okay. I totally agree with you. But the thing also is, you have to do more than just saying you haven't seen it. Therefore, that is not something. I don't believe this is how you need to approach this. Uh, Show us more than just say I've not seen in U.S. Congress inviting Jerome Verdier. So, I mean, has you contacted Mr. Verdier to say, were you contacted, you know, or something?
No, no, yeah, and Mr. Toe, that's the thing. I've not contacted him. I also, of the knowledge that Congress did not invite him in hiding. It's not like the ex, witness. He's not as such. So he was, according to them, he was publicly invited. So if that is the case, the story should not be hidden. It should be in the archive. It should be somewhere that people can access it and read about his testimony. But only this particular smart news that often read and trash because smart news, I don't know where they're based, but what I've read from them every day is that they are bent on spreading falsehood, which, because some time ago, about a year ago, there was a news on the same smart news that talked about George Weah being, placed on a travel ban, that he would not leave Liberia, and it has been a year now. We haven't heard anything else. And these are the people that continue to write, and sometimes giving them the platform to spread these kind of lies can also help them in their quest to accomplish their aim. That is to instill fear in people, because this news will not allow people who want to invest in Liberia to go. And
Exactly.
that's what the intention is all about. That's what
Exactly.
the intention is all about.
And this is why I think the government of Liberia needs to engage to refute these things, just like you're doing now. But it's still, I still say you're coming out short. But they need to actually engage to say, okay, this is A, B, C, D you have written, and here is the response. But nothing like that. People are saying they don't need to respond to everything. Of course not. But these things are in there. They're in the worldwide. Then they're not going away. They're there for life. So that's
Yes,
the point.
exactly, Mr. Toe. Exactly, Mr. Toe. And we all know that Jerome Verger is an ex CDC partisan. Apparently, from what I'm seeing now, he's just being disgruntled, and it's apparently because he wanted to be the standard bearer and he wasn't given the chance. And some of these things, I think the American people have to know them as well. So those who spreading these lies or spreading this news, about how the government is a gangster a government, and Liberia is a gangster paradise, or all these things. They have a common agenda.
Well, but
And we all see it.
Josh, then you should agree with me that the government, and even if the government is not going to do anything, sedition themselves, those who know the story should come out to say this guy is disgruntled because A, B, C, D, and show proof. That's how you knock this story out. But they're not doing it.
And Mr. Toe, the Minister of Information and Tourism just said exactly what I'm saying now about a day ago when he was at the press briefing, or the regular press briefing on Thursday. He said, look, Jerry Vodia is writing all these things because if you go to check now at the Election Commission, when the CDC was being registered, his signature is there for, I think, the 2011 elections, if I'm not mistaken. His signature is there. So this guy is a partisan. However, he was not given the opportunity. So I think the Information Minister, Eugene Lane Nangwe, has already said these things, and I think it just needs to be a re-echo by news organs and people like you also, not just to pick up on what these guys say that are negative of the government, but also the government response, because I think Eugene Nangwe expeditiously came up and said exactly what I'm saying now.
Okay.
What he said.
We will look into I will look into Eugene Nangwe response, because I if I find that, I need to play that, of course, so that people will know from both sides. But the point is, the government, you call any government official right now, they don't even want to talk to you. They have a special people that they want to talk to, and these people are not doing these kinds of information searching. Okay, they seem to me that they continue to bank on finding enemy of the state, and just so that they would get their position going, finding enemy. But for me, I'm not going to find enemy of the state. If something is happening, whether it's true or not, if it's out there in the papers, I will read it and let people see it, let people hear it, and those who want to engage, they will. If not, for example, if I have not done that, you probably won't come out here tonight to re-echo Mr. Nangwe section, okay, to even tell us more that Mr. Verdier himself used to be a sedition and he's disgruntled according to you, okay? But that's something now, disgruntled, that you put out there. It's already out now, coming from you. People are listening. Okay, as we speak, we have 20 people listening, and this thing going to be repeated by the time tomorrow. This whole video, you're going to have over 1,000 people viewing it. Okay, so that's why we need to be ahead of these things, So anyway, I want to thank you very much. Except you, if you have anything else to say.
Yes, I just want to conclude by saying, look, I thank you for this opportunity, and also I want us to, as Liberians, to come together, because what I'm seeing at the moment is that certain people think that George Weah is inept. He's unqualified. He's unexperienced, to take the highest office in the land. Some might agree. Some might disagree. However, he's already the president now.
Exactly.
So if you want to continuously try to blackmail him, or try to distort everything that's supposed to happen for the Liberian people in 6 years' time that he's going to be in power, you're just going to keep our people down and keep them backwards for another 6 years. And there are a lot of people who don't have 6 years of life. And we need to think about these people and not think about ourselves. Let's think about the people who depend on a stable economy and a stable country to at least make their farms, because we have our grandparents, our aunties, our uncles, they are in the interior, they're making their farms. They don't care about who is in the office, but they want peace. They just want to go on their farms and be able to get their daily bread. They don't care about those in the highest office there. So let us think about them. Let us stop spreading this falsehood that is going to make that salt is not going to be available to our people in the villages. So, look, I want you to continue what you're doing. I think it's very good. We need to educate our people and not just spread, the information that is tantamount to disrupting our peace and causing a lot of chaos and havoc in our country. Now, thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Please continue to listen to Liberian Public. We appreciate it, especially coming all the way from Australia. What time is it over there in Australia?
Oh, it's Saturday here. Saturday, 11:14 a.m.
a.m. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right now in California, it's about 6:44 here in California. So anyway, but thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Again, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio, these are the kinds of engagement that we anticipate people will call. And then I'm not asking you to agree with me. I keep telling you this. Because the fact that those of you that watch me, you guys are very intelligent, very smart. I don't expect you to agree with me. Call me, disagree, and express yourself. But did you hear the gentleman here? Very, very polite. We had an exchange, cultural exchange. It doesn't mean that he agreed with me. In fact, he made it clear that I don't agree with you. And he went on to give his reasoning. And this is how people engage intellectually. Not by using just something told you from Total. Yeah, you yesterday, you JJC, you know fast, and what kind of boy you know? You say you in college, you've been in college for 20 something. What kind of conversation is that? What mean being in college for 30, 40 years got to do with you? Nothing. The college that I'm going to get, the college degree that I'm going is to put food on my table. What business is yours? It's nothing. So, but anyway, that's not what I'm going. But here's what I think perhaps the government most likely need to do. If what this young man stated here, if it is true that Mr. Verde, according to him, disgruntled, Mr. Verde, I mean, he's also a career person. He's a lawyer, and he's a very smart guy. The fact that the former chairman of this TRC carry heavy weight. The government need to go and report whatever his activities are affecting the government operation. And report it to the international community. Go to the U.S. and complain. This man that you have in there that is in the United States used to be part of this group, but these are the kinds of things that they continue to write that are not true. And they're affecting people, our chances of people coming here to invest in our country. These are not conducive to those of us that are trying to help our brothers and sisters. You make that case, people will listen to you. If what these people are writing, if they are not true, people will listen to you. But however, you got to be very careful. Because whatever you're going to be complaining, you now open yourself up for investigation. Not investigation per se, but the people are going to look at the statement you're making, and they're also going to call Mr. Verde and say, why are you making these statements? Now, Mr. Mr. Verde now going to come and produce. If he start producing evidence that incriminate you, then you have issues. So this thing is a double-edged sword. Anyway, folks, Samson, it's Friday evening. I can't stay any longer. I thought Mr. So were going to be here tonight, so he and I can do some live testing of equipment on Liberian Public Radio live, but he's not here. So let me just call it quit here this evening. Folks, all of the stuff that I've been reading, those are information you can get online. And please do not say that I am promoting these people's idea. Whether I talk about it or not, they're out there. They're out there. Now, if I talk about it, people are going to dispute it because they're going to do research and say, who in their right mind will say the kind of thing? Look at Dr. Weir. Does he look like anybody who would want to stay in power 30 more than, or even die in power? If you get Dr. Weir chance, now you tell you, like, bro, you're your thing. I tire people cussing me. I'm a human being like any other. I tire. I don't care for people to curse me. That's why I want to help. Me seeking the presidency of the Republic does not mean you got the right to curse me anytime you want. I tire. You tell your thing. He can't do that because he was elected. Okay? So for people to write and say this man trying to put people together so he can stay in power for life, then I have questioned myself. Because I believe if Dr. Weir has his way right now, he say, my people, you tell your joy. You one person, they cursing you from day in to day out. From 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock next time, they just cursing you. For what? For Liberal president business? But when you keep cursing and cursing and cursing and cursing, maybe sometimes 2-3 hours, they just cursing him. Then you say the man want to stay in power for life. If I want to put my neck on the line too, I can tell you, say no. If I know, I don't believe if Dr. Weir, if he has a choice, I don't think he say he can say I staying there 2 or 3 years. He want to be friend with one small little girl. The girl say, oh, the man want me. Oh. He want to try to be friend with the man want me. Oh. The man marry. Oh. He got children. You think the people ain't got no family? Or he when you squeezing or when you calling that water can, that vein, that blood come from his skin too. You causing that the same blood will come out. When you cut yourself, the same blood. So what make your thing say because he president that one anybody can you're causing you want? You ain't got no feeding. So then the people coming right here and they say the man trying to put people together so he can stay in power for life. You think that we want to stay in power for life? The Liberian government? He want to be president for life? When a man goes somewhere and dance, I jump over, then something to why the man jumping over? Why he jumping over? Then something to put him on him. You think I want a man want to be president all of that? My people, you don't take the thing serious, man. That's the Samson told. Let me play this one. Respect me. Not because I wear papa all the time. I walk in blah, 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 blah. You know what Saluman say? When he tells Saluman, I'm taller than you, he say, yeah, come here, Bobby. Let the measure from the shoulder to go up. If you're higher than that, then you tall. But don't come give me your body. Your body that what? That nothing. It's just the measurement. Let's measure from the shoulder up. You know what he's telling you? If you think say you tall, let's measure from the shoulder up. If you tall, that the brain will tell me. But because I went pla slipper, then you say nothing. Don't disrespect me. Samson told. Okay, folks, Samson to Liberian Public. I want to thank all of you again for this wonderful, wonderful time on Friday afternoon. We say thank you very much, again, on a very serious note. I know things are difficult in Liberia. Things are very, very hard. And the president of the Republic of Liberia has a choice. If he wants to establish war and economic crime court, it's up to them. I'm not here to push one way or the other. I would prefer to have that, because that would deter most of the people from taking Liberia to be like a farm. So I will appreciate that. But then again, we have to understand, what is the security situation in Liberia? Are we secure to have that? And then my show the last time, one of the things that I was pushing about that is this. Are we prepared? Are we prepared to have people to have the war and economic crime court? Do we have the sophistication to say that we're going to deal with people based on law? Just remember, not too long ago we had a war. Oh, that man passing over there, I can smell you in that crowd, man. Remember that? Oh, that man going over there, give me, I can see the way you're walking. Remember that? Kaya. Then he said they lift for your pants. And you get mark on your pants because the army people used to put rubber in to hold their pants up. So if you have mark on your foot like that, then they think say you're army man. You remember that? People die because of the kinds of stuff. Are we ready? to say let the security do their job without us without us interfering. Oh, you're looking for somebody? You come. The man, yeah. When I was small, I was 5-year-old. He killed 10 people here. Then they come in to grab that man to take him, even if he's not going to be found guilty, but he's going to be taken away from his family. He's going to be taken away from his job. He's going to be taken away from farming. Are we prepared? Are we prepared? This thing is deeper than just bringing in war crime court in Liberia. You know our history. You know how we are. Are we ready to say, okay, let a professional handle this? And we're not going to be involved because of jealousy. We're not going to be calling people names because of jealousy. Folks, it's deeper. This is Samson told I'm going to call it quit on you guys here tonight and say thank you very much for please stay safe. It's Friday night. You work all week. You're getting ready to go out, or maybe you're all the way out now. Please don't drink and drive. One of the things that you need to do, because I've been there, I've done that. You get to a party, the person who having a party, you know them, you know them, but you know that the person's house. You take $20 with your keys and give it to him. Say, please hold the $20 and my keys. I'm going to drink tonight because I want to drink. But if you find out that I'm unable to move, I can't drive, please don't give me the keys. I'll be cussing you because that liquor cussing you, that's not me. But don't give me the keys. And if you feel that I'm making too much embarrassment for you, call Hooper. Yes, the $20. Yes, the $30. Put me in the car. Let them take me home. Don't give me my keys. Or if you feel that I'm not safe by putting me in somebody else's car, you want to ride with, fine. Or take me home. Okay? Those are the kind of arrangements you need to make. Because here's the thing about drinking and driving. Those days when we were here, when we were the same age you are now, we used to throw airball. But sometimes you throw 2 airball at the same time because you want to see how much beer you can take in before you start stumbling. That was long time ago. And sometimes you want to see if you're drunk on the road driving. You want to see, these people say their car can move 125 miles an hour. Can Samson Tour beat this 125? And you test it. You test it. 125 miles an hour. Boom. Those days when the police pull you over, they tell you, my man, you're drunk. Follow me. And they take you home. Those days. If they find out you're drunk, unless it's so bad they want to take you off the road, they will take you in and put you in a cell overnight. In the morning you go home. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now when you're caught driving, drinking, or drunk driving, the money you will pay, fine alone, you won't able. They will seize your license immediately. It's going to affect your job because anytime they put it out there, people at work will find out you're going to be dismissed from the job that you're handling, that helping you to go to school. You can't drive now because going to school is not part of the deal. The only thing they will give you paper for is going to work, not going to school. You got family to take care of. You can't take your kids to the park anymore. Those of you that have to be driving, you can't. Your wife going to be driving now. All because of pleasure. These are nothing that you want to put yourself in as a Liberian or as a human being. Because if you're drunk and you're involved in an accident, God forbid. But if nothing even happened to you, what if you, in your reckless behavior, somebody get injured, somebody worse, somebody get killed? Can you forgive yourself for the rest of your life? Why put yourself in the type of position just because of pleasure? You can do this. On a Friday evening, you go and have fun. After a certain time, you come home. Right now, I'm on air. You go and bring your beer in the house. You sit down in front of the TV or sit down in front of the computer. Put me on. Hey, something to talking nonsense again tonight. But what kind of business is this? Ain't that main business people come to America for? Well, you can't even shout us there. Every day, total. What kind of fully man this? You see where I'm going with it? Because you're drunk now, you're cussing me. But no police coming in the house. Before you look, you're sleeping in your own bed. Nothing. However, when you're going to do that, you should also observe respect for family. Don't put your hand on people's daughter. The woman in the house with you, that's not your slave for you to get drunk and start beating her. You can't do that. Because the woman in the house could be my daughter. And God forbid, if you do the one, coming for you. The grandpa coming for you, you will be me too. But that's not what it's supposed to be. You're only supposed to enjoy yourself. If you feel that you are certain position you can't handle, don't drink. There are certain people, and some people there in liquor don't mix. Why you want to put yourself in those type of situations? They are not nice. Nowadays, when you do little thing, they stick with you for life. Especially in this country, when they put something on your record, especially when you're not under 18, it goes for a long time. You go look for a job, they come back to you. This is how I consider America. One thing I noticed about America, and I've been here for a very long time. I've been here almost 80 years. 200 years. But one of the things that I know on a very serious note, you make one little mistake in this country, that mistake will follow you for at least 10 years. 10 years before you can try to extricate yourself from the mistake a little bit. Why even put yourself in? And you young people, the young Liberian, you guys are so different from the time when we were young. Nowadays, as young as you are, but you have purpose. Those days we have, I'm talking about myself, I have nothing. All I want to do is play football, drink, and raka. Yo a day. Waka a day. That's what I wanted to do. School, forget it. Community service, please. Why would I want to be bothered with Grand Youth Association? I got myself to enjoy. But those of you young people that are coming now, you gravitate towards the community organization to help. In the process, you're there educating yourself for tomorrow. I respect you for that. I take my hat off for all of you young people. You continue to improve your lives. Just look at you now. Look at you. Some of you that graduated from college working. When you came here, you got nothing. Some of you were sleeping in people's basement. Some of you were somewhere else. But look at your life. It's because you have that culture in you to work and make yourself better. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away. Now people are drinking when they go to the party. They hold their keys in their hand with red cup in their hand and they take pictures. And when I see that, I crunch because it makes me feel scared. There's no reason. We love you. Right now, you look around and say, oh, nobody cares for me. But guess what? If anything were to happen to you, people will cry for you because they love you. Folks, this is Samson Tour. I'm giving it to you as it is. Be safe. Good night, folks. But one thing, though. Don't disrespect me. Samson Tour, LeBron Public Radio. Good night, folks.
Kakura kanama. Yekere matiki. Enana sono sere kanama. Pale kwekuna. Inana pale mwaki kanama. Baye jibo basogo. Zakati ko pale monyo basogo. Lokuru kwe basogo. Zakati ko pale monyo basogo. Tumo wana pale tumo wana. Korombe ota. Tumo wana pale mwaki tumo wana. Amoye bo pale kasa. Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikolo mwa yepo zane kripu ya moleu lokolo toliye bolu suku suku ogere